Good day, everyone. So, for today, I will be discussing parenting and principles of parenting. So ngayon, i-define natin kung ano nga ba ang parenting. So, parenting is the process of raising children and providing them with protection and care in order to ensure their healthy development into adulthood. So, ang parenting, ito yung tumutukoy sa proseso ng pag-aalaga at pagpapalaki ng mga anak. Ito ay ang mga gawain, responsibilidad at pamamahagi ng mga magulang ng moral, edukasyon at emosyonal na suporta sa kanilang mga anak. Ang mga magulang din ay nagbibigay ng gabay, pagmamahal at suporta upang matulungan ang kanilang mga anak na maging responsableng mga miyembro ng lipunan or ng ating society, no. So palagi din natin tandaan na ang parenting ay mahalagang bahagi sa pagbuo ng personality at pag-uugali ng isang tao. So, tapos na nating ma-identify kung ano nga ba ang meaning ng parenting. So, punta naman tayo sa kung ano nga ba yung 10 principles of parenting. So, yung una is what you do matters. So, according kay Lawrence Steinberg, ito ang pinaka-importanting principle sa parenting. Tandaan natin, lalo na kapag magulang ka na or tayo, no, na lahat ng gagawin mo ay nakikita or nagmamatter sa mga children. Kaya as much as possible, be a good role model to them. So, the next bullet is you cannot be too loving, or let's just say limiting the love, no? Alam natin na showing love to children are very important. Hindi rin naman masama na i-spoil natin sila sa love natin towards them, no? But at some point, if it's too much love, it will most likely result in some negative outcomes. Like, for example, kapag sobra yung love na pinaramdam ng parents, as time goes by, yung bata magiging overly nurtured, no? They can't make decisions on their own. Pwede din na hindi sila maging handa sa realidad ng mundo na ang tanging alam lang nila ay puro love lang ang mundo, na mabait ang mundo, no? Hindi dapat ganun. So, dapat palaging may limit ang lahat, no? May limitations, kumbaga. So, next natin is yung pangatlo, no? Be involved in your child's life. So, bilang magulang, kailangan involved ka sa mga nangyayari sa buhay ng anak mo. According kay Lawrence Steinberg, no, yes, sa una hindi madali. It takes time talaga, lalo na you will proceed to rethinking and rearranging your priorities. Sa madaling salita, kapag magulang ka na, you will sacrifice what you want to do for the sake of what your child needs to do. Tandaan nyo yan. At dapat andun ka or saksi ka mentally as well as physically. This will help to strengthen yung bond ng magulang at anak, no? Of course, to discover more things from each other. So, yung pang-apat naman na bullet is adapt your parenting to fit your child, no? Children change, of course, syempre, especially as they grow, no? Sa pagsabay ng paglaki nila, yun din ang pagsabay ng pagbabago sa ugali nila. Kaya bilang magulang, dapat marunong or alam din natin mag-adjust dahil um, hindi sila yung palaging bata na laging nasunod sa atin, no? They need to be independent. For example, sabi ni Steinberg, no? The same drive for independence that is making you 3-year-old child say no all the time is what motivates him to be toilet trained. O, di ba? So, yung panglima naman natin, yung establish and set rules, no? Bilang magulang, rules should be in the line with what children can and can't do. Makakatulong to sa kanila para madisiplina at makapag-create sila ng better choices in the future. But, you cannot micromanage your child, sabi nga ni Steinberg, no? For example, nasa middle school na sila, you need to let child do their homework, make their own choices, and not intervene, no? Pero it doesn't mean na you don't care for them anymore na. It's just that let them stand on their own feet step by step. So, yung pang-anim na bullet naman is foster your child's independence. So, fostering independence in children will help them do will help them to build their mental strength, no? So makakatulong din ito to determine how patient and focused they become. Madaming magulang na nagkakamali kapag natutong maging independent ang mga anak nila, no? Lagi nilang sinasabi na rebelde or hindi na marunong sumunod sa magulang yung ganyang batang nagiging independent, no? So tandaan natin na children push for independence because it is part of human nature, to want to feel in control rather than to feel controlled by someone else, no? So next naman natin is yung be consistent, no? Ang pagiging consistent kasi ng isang magulang, they will keep children secure from falling back to negative behaviors, no? According ulit kay Steinberg, no, maraming magulang ang may problema sa pagiging consistent. Kapag kasi hindi consistent ang mga magulang, the children will get confused. For example, yung rules mo ay pabago-bago. Syempre, yung behavior ng anak mo ay hindi niya, yung behavior niya, syempre iba, no? So, hindi niya pa rin kasalanan yun dahil fault mo yun. Dahil nga, hindi ka consistent, no? Kaya dapat hanggat maaari, pilitin natin ang pagiging consistent when it comes to our children, no? So yung next naman is yung avoid harsh discipline, no? Parents should also protect the behavior and mental health of children. As such, harsh discipline of any form should be avoided, no? Even by loving parents, no? Dahil according kay Steinberg nga, children who are spanked, hit, or slapped are more prone to fighting with other children, no? And the negative result which can lead to the relationship problems with other kids. Sa tingin nila tama yung manakit, maging bully, etc. No? So, next natin is yung explain your rules and decisions. So, children keep on asking why rules are set. Laging ganyan yung mga tanong nila, why, how, what, ganyan, di ba, lagi. So, if they don't understand this, they won't know how to transfer it to every situation they encounter. So, dapat malinaw sa kanila. I-explain natin yung rules and the decisions natin bilang magulang at bilang anak nila. Ano? So, yung last naman is yung treat your child with respect, no? 'Di ba may kasabihan tayo na treat others the way you wanted to be treated. Ganon din between parents and children. According to Steinberg, no, the best way to get respectful treatment from your child is to treat him respectfully, no? No matter what their age or gender, it will help them to accept their mistakes and communicate more effectively. So, ayan, natakel na natin yung 10 principles of parenting. Ngayon, dadako naman tayo sa rights and duty of parents regarding education. So, bago yon, alamin muna natin bakit ba mahalaga na aralin natin ito, no? Or tukuyin natin kung ano ba itong tatlong batas na ito, no? So, ang mga rights o karapatan at duties o tungkulin ng mga magulang kaugnay sa edukasyon ng kanilang mga anak ay mahalaga para sa maayos na pag-unlad ng mga bata or anak nila. Talakayin natin yung unang batas, no? So, yung unang batas, ito yung Chapter 2, Section 8, Rights of Parents in the Education of Their Children. Dito sa batas na ito, binibigyang pansin ang mga magulang na mayroong karapatan na pumili ng uri ng edukasyon na nararapat para sa kanilang anak, mula sa pampubliko hanggang sa pribadong paaralan. Tungkulin din ng mga magulang na siguraduhin may sapat na access sa edukasyon ang kanilang mga anak at naipapasa sa kanila ang kahalagahan ng pag-aaral. Yun yung sinasabi sa unang batas. So, punta tayo sa pangalawang batas. Ito yung Chapter 3, Section 14, Duties of Parents in the Education of Their Children. No? Sinasabi dito na dapat ang mga magulang ay may obligasyon na magtaguyod upang ang kanilang mga anak ay makakuha ng elementary education. Shall strive to enable them to obtain secondary and higher education sa layuning mapanatili ang tamang paghubog o pag-shape, no, sa mga kabataan. So yung panghuli naman natin is ito yung Education Act of 1982, no? o mas kilala bilang Batas Pambansa bilang 232. So ito yung nagtatag ng isang pinagsamang sistema ng edukasyon sa Pilipinas at naglalahad ng mga karapatan ng mga mag-aaral, mga magulang, mga guro at iba pang kawani ng edukasyon. Layunin ng batas na lumikha ng kaugnayan at magkakasamang sistema ng edukasyon sa Pilipinas, no? Saklaw ang formal at non-formal na education. At nililinaw ng batas na ito ang mga layunin ng edukasyon na nagbibigay diin sa pagpapaunlad ng potensyal ng bawat isa. Nagtataguyod din ito ng mga halaga sa moral at spiritual at paghahanda sa mga pag-aaral, no, paghahanda sa mga mag-aaral para sa kanilang tungkulin bilang responsableng mamamayan. So, tandaan natin, no, lagi nating tatandaan na mahalaga ang batas na ito sa paghubog ng sistema sa edukasyon sa Pilipinas, no, at maraming iba pang marami pang pag-amendahan o revisions at karagdagang batas ang naisabatas upang lalo pang mapabuti ang sistema ng education. So, para sa ating research na foreign at local na mga nahanap ko, no? Dako na tayo doon. So, for the results, benefits of the Growing Up Together online parenting program for families in social services in Croatia, no? So, for the results, the influence of online parenting programs on Croatian families is examined in this study, which finds no changes in the reasons behind children's misbehavior, but rather improvements in self-esteem, competence, moral, and the absence of wrath, harshness, and violent parenting. So, for the recommendations naman, the study emphasizes the need for more growing up together research, no, with an emphasis on evidence-based practices program, characteristics, and parental cognitions and behavior changes. Para naman sa pangalawang research, foreign research, ito yung the role of parents in their children's education. No? So, this study investigates how parental executive functioning, or EF, affects their child's schooling, focusing on age, sleep habits, stress, and mood, in addition to offering suggestions for better teamwork techniques. So, for the recommendations naman, the study highlights how crucial it is to evaluate a child's place in their education and upbringing in order to foster positive character development and get them ready for adulthood. So for local naman, yung unang research is yung Phenomenology of Parenting While Schooling Among Filipino College Student Mothers in the Province. So yung result, 4 student moms talk about the advantages, difficulties, time management, and help they receive from a variety of people. These people included their teachers, classmates, friends, and family, as well as financial concerns and bullying. For recommendations, student mothers deal with with time management, bullying, and financial difficulties, but they also learn lessons, are respected, and other inspired by their parents' supporting guidance. No. So for the last local research, exploring parental involvement in early childhood education in Philippines, a case study. No? The study highlights 3 types of parental involvement: homeschool interaction, in-school engagement, and structured home learning support, emphasizing the importance of refining stakeholders' capacity in school activities. Recommendation: in order to contribute the conversations on Philippine parental participation, practices, and early childhood education, theoretical models. The study recommends that schools encourage stakeholder involvement in homeschool learning activities with a focus on parental involvement.